What's the craziest thing you've witnessed at a family gathering? It was my grandma Lydia's 88th birthday. My whole family rented this small lodge up in the mountains for the weekend. And I mean everyone showed up. Cousins I hadn't seen in years, my uncle's new girlfriend, even my aunt's weird husband who nobody really talks to. The plan was simple. Eat dinner, then go around the table sharing nice memories about Lydia. Pretty standard birthday stuff. Dinner was going fine. My mom made this huge lasagna. There was garlic bread everywhere, and someone brought like 3 bottles of wine. People were laughing, kids were running around being loud, and Lydia was just sitting at the head of the table smiling. She looked happy. Then halfway through dinner, Lydia stood up. She's 88, so when she stands, everyone notices. The whole room went quiet. She tapped her glass with a fork and said, "I need everyone's attention, please." We all thought she was going to give some sweet speech about family and love and whatever. My aunt even started tearing up already, but then Lydia reached into her cardigan pocket and pulled out this little black notebook, the kind you get at the dollar store. She opened it slowly and said, "I just want to tell the truth before I go." My Uncle Nate laughed nervously and said, "Mom, what are you talking about?" Lydia ignored him. She looked down at her notebook and started reading, out loud, in front of everyone. "Nathan," she said, looking right at my uncle, "your second son isn't yours. Angela cheated on you in 2003 with someone from her gym. I've known for 15 years. The room went completely silent. You could hear the fireplace crackling. My uncle's face went pale. His wife Angela stood up so fast her chair fell over. She grabbed her purse and just left. Didn't say a word. Just walked out the door. But Lydia wasn't done. She flipped a page and kept going. "Joanne," she said, looking at my aunt, "you stole $4,000 from my savings account in 2011. You said you needed it for your daughter's surgery, but you used it to pay off your boyfriend's gambling debt. I have the bank statements." My Aunt Jo started crying immediately. She tried to say something, but nothing came out. Her husband just stared at her like he'd never seen her before. Lydia kept reading. She told my cousin Brett that she knew he dropped out of college 2 years ago, but kept taking tuition money from his parents and spent it on a motorcycle. She told my other cousin that she saw her stealing jewelry from Lydia's bedroom last Christmas. She even called out my uncle's girlfriend for lying about her age. Said she was 47, not 34. People started yelling. Someone threw a wine glass and it shattered on the floor. My cousin Brett grabbed his jacket and stormed out. His mom was screaming at him through the window. My Aunt Jo locked herself in the bathroom. Kids were crying because the adults were crying, and Lydia just kept reading from her notebook, calm as anything. My dad finally stood up and said, "Mom, what the hell are you doing?" Lydia looked up at him and said, "I'm 88 years old. I'm not gonna die with all these secrets sitting on my chest." Someone asked her how she even knew all this stuff. She closed her notebook, smiled, and said, "I'm old, not blind. You all think I'm just sitting in my chair doing nothing. I see everything." For 20 minutes straight, she just kept going. Every secret, every lie, every betrayal. She didn't skip anyone. When she finally finished, she sat back down, cut herself a piece of birthday cake, took a bite, and said, "Now I feel better." Nobody knew what to do. Half the family had already left. The other half just sat there in shock. My mom was frozen with a fork halfway to her mouth. My Uncle Nate was staring at the wall like his brain had shut off. That night, people packed their bags and drove home. Some didn't even say goodbye. The next morning, the lodge was half empty. Only a few of us were left. And Lydia? She woke up at 7, walked into the kitchen, and started making pancakes like nothing had happened. She even hummed while she cooked. I sat down at the table and just watched her. She looked over at me and said, "You want chocolate chips in yours, sweetie?" I said yes. We ate pancakes in silence. She didn't bring up the night before, didn't apologize, didn't explain. She just smiled, sipped her coffee, and said, "Best birthday I ever had." The family never recovered. Some people still don't talk to each other. My Uncle Nate got a paternity test. It was true. My Aunt Jo's husband filed for divorce 3 months later, but Lydia didn't care. She lived another year after that and honestly seemed happier than ever. No more secrets, no more pretending. At her funeral, barely anyone showed up.